Welcome to Maximus Movies Recaps. Today, we're diving into American movie called Wolf. American action comedy film written and directed by John Watts. The film stars George Clooney. Brad Pitt's plot follows two professional fixers who are forced to work together on a job despite their preference to operate as lone wolves. The scene begins with a frantic Margaret, her designer dress stained with blood, pacing around the opulent hotel room. The body of a young man, still warm, lies sprawled on the plush carpet. Panic etched on her face, she rushes to the phone, her trembling fingers dialing a number she's been given for just such an emergency. Margaret, her voice breaking, spills out her story, her fear palpable through the phone. The Wolf listens intently, his expression unreadable. As the Wolf arrives at the hotel room, he assesses the situation with a practiced eye. He's a man of few words, his actions speaking louder than his voice. He begins the grim task of cleaning up the mess, his movements efficient and precise. Just as he's about to finish, another figure enters the room. The newcomer, known only as the Fox, is a rival of the Wolf's, a man with his own methods and his own code. He's been sent by Pam, the mysterious owner of the hotel, who has been monitoring the situation through hidden cameras. Pam, a woman of power and influence, is determined to protect her hotel's reputation and Margaret's career. To mitigate the damage, Pam forces the Wolf and the Fox to work together, much to their displeasure. The fixers initially refuse, but Margaret reminds her man that he is now on the surveillance footage and what she was told about him. You take a job. You give your word, and that word is the measure of a man. The fixers reluctantly join forces, providing Margaret with an alibi, changing her clothes, and sending her home. Wolf, meticulously cleaning up the crime scene. He's a man of efficiency, every movement calculated and precise. His focus is unwavering, his determination evident in every action. Meanwhile, the Fox is lounging on a nearby couch, beer in hand. They find a large stash of drugs in the kid's bag, which Pam orders them to return to its original owners to avoid further trouble. Eventually, the Wolf finishes the job, and they leave the hotel room. Margaret's man deftly moves the body to his car using a luggage cart, and the fixers discover the kid is still alive but overdosing on the drugs. Knocking the kid out and stowing him in the trunk, the fixers suspect the drugs belong to a shipment recently stolen from the Albanian mafia. They bring the kid to June, an underground medical specialist who has a history with them both, but the underwear-clad kid escapes and leads them on a chase through the city. Catching him and sobering him up with pills from June, the fixers interrogate the kid at a dingy hotel. He explains that he agreed to deliver the drugs as a favor to his friend Diego but was invited up to Margaret's room and tried the drugs on a whim. The delivery location will be sent to Diego's pager at a club for the kid to collect. At the club, the kid grabs the pager while the fixers get caught up in a wedding party and are recognized by Dimitri, a dangerous Croatian mobster. They save themselves by convincing him they are not working together and depart, but his bodyguard realizes the truth by seeing the identical guns. At a diner, the fixers deduce that drug kingpin Lagrange, Diego's employer, likely stole the Albanian's shipment, and the kid is being set up. Though the fixers expect the kid will be killed, they agree to let him make the delivery, and the pager is sent the address for the drop. The fixers watch as the kid enters Lagrange's warehouse, which the Albanians soon ambush. Two fixers are then ambushed by Dimitri's bodyguards but shoot their attackers dead and make their way inside, where Lagrange's men and the Albanians have killed each other. The kid has survived, hiding inside a car trunk, and the fixers prepare to kill him to hide their involvement in the fiasco but have a change of heart at the last second. Accompanying the kid home on the subway, they threaten his father to keep quiet about the entire incident. Having breakfast at a diner in Brighton Beach, the fixers have bonded over their many unspoken things in common, from their clothes and guns to their bad backs and reading glasses, but cannot bring themselves to admit it. Margaret's man, sensing the tension, breaks the silence. "How'd Pam convince you to work with me?" he asks the Fox. The Fox pauses, his gaze fixed on the window. "She said, you take a job, you give your word, and that word is the measure of a man," he replies, his voice low and deliberate. A realization dawns on both men. The pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place. They understand now that Pam, the enigmatic woman who brought them together, orchestrated the entire event. She had a plan, a deadly game, and they were pawns in her grand scheme. The realization hits them like a cold wave. They're not just rivals, they're targets. Hitmen, hired by Pam, are waiting outside, ready to eliminate them both. A chill runs down their spines as they grasp the gravity of their situation. Without a word, they rise from their seats, their hands instinctively reaching for their weapons. The diner, once a peaceful haven, is transformed into a battlefield. With hitmen waiting outside, the fixers agree to exchange names if they make it out alive and open fire. As bullets fly and glass shatters, the two men engage in a deadly dance, their lives hanging in the balance. Thank you for joining Maximus Movies Recap. See you next time for another entertaining story.